Booking Rooster makes course and event management software that helps organisations that run training and events. So what we're about is saving them time, reducing their administration costs, enhancing the customer experience, and giving greater financial control. Ultimately, it's about helping businesses grow at a pace that they can keep up with.
Awesome. And what are some of the key features that you have that would be beneficial to businesses?
Where to start? The system's very flexible. So when we're dealing with a business, we always want to understand what they do now, what's working well for them, what isn't, and then take them from there. But there are some things that are real winners no matter what situation they're in now, providing, of course, that they offer training, normally short courses like a few hours or several days, or events like conferences, small gatherings and the like. So what I can do is I can take you on a little tour if you like. Shall I share my screen?
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Excellent. So first of all, of course, we're a booking platform. So if you go to any of the systems that are powered by Booking Rooster, you're going to see a way for people to see what's coming up and to book. So this one is Vertical Horizons, a local safety training business. And what people would get to hear from Vertical Horizons' own website, or maybe clicking a link in an email that Vertical Horizons have sent promoting either all courses or perhaps a particular type of course. So to give you an example here, here's what Vertical Horizons have got going on in Auckland. So if they were promoting to their Auckland customer base, they would give people a link straight to here where they can see everything that's coming up in Auckland, but could also come back and filter if they don't find what they might want to go, yeah, I want something in Auckland and I want it to be perhaps, I don't know, a driver's license class 2 or whichever. So they can filter on whatever's relevant to their organisation. So that makes booking much easier and communication with the customer much easier. The booking platform comes dressed in the same brand to reflect the website of the organisation, so that it feels it's a complete seamless process going from their main website to the booking segment. So here's another you might recognise, the Tauranga Art Gallery, and it's really good to see a lot of what they have going on here is already sold out. You'll see a join the waitlist option there. So you can, when you start looking at the sites powered by Booking Rooster, you can quite quickly see that it helps to get course or event occupancy up really quickly. And just staying with the front end for a minute, here's Autism New Zealand, so a large charity that offers training for teachers and for families of people with autism, and that also is delivered all around the country and people can click to book. What really saves time, of course, is what's here in the back end. Now, there's a lot that really helps, but I thought I'd just show you some of the winners that seem to be valued by both our training sector and our event sector. So this example is from a forklift and truck training. It's a fictional company, but this just gives you a really good overview of what people might use it for. So managers and organisations would use this tab, the dashboard, and this is where they can see exactly how many tickets have been sold, or trainees are coming, or people are coming, whatever language you want, what the revenue is for this event, and how many people have responded to emails. So they can flick through and get a really quick overview of how things are tracking. Or they can scroll down and see all the events coming up, or the courses coming up. They can see the start dates and scroll through the tickets issued. If I were managing these events, I might zero in on these ones with no people booking, because if it's on tomorrow and nobody's booked yet, I might want to quietly close that one off and not offer it. It's obviously not going to be a winner financially. So it allows them to, and usually, of course, they would do that much, much sooner than today. So it allows them a lot of control over, a lot of visibility over what they're doing. This updates in real time. So the minute someone books, this number will change from 3 to 4 or 6, or depending how many people they booked for. So that dashboard is and visibility is a key advantage. Independence is another advantage. With a lot of online systems, people are fearful that they'll be caught in this trap where they have to come back and back and back. We're there to support, and our support is free, but really you don't need us to do most things. So in the courses section here, we start by setting up some templates for our customers to reflect their business processes. So here's one for a dangerous goods course, here's one for a forklift course. But from there, they can add as many instances as they like. And it's as simple, say I decided we were going to run a new dangerous goods course, I would just simply press add. It's going to bring my template up, and I might change the heading of this one to say, I don't know, Tauranga, and I might therefore have to change the region to Bay of Plenty so that it all will be found on a filter of things in the Bay of Plenty. I'm going to perhaps put this this course on the 30th of June. It's a one-day course, so it's going to finish on the same day. I can choose to make the course public, so it will show up on the website and everyone can see it, or private, because it might be in a training sector, it might be for a specific client and the training might be delivered on their site. So in this case, I'm going to make it public and create it, job done. So an experienced administrator will be able to put up about 50 courses in half an hour once using those templates.
All right.
Yeah, it's really quick, really, really quick. And all of the details. So for example, you've trucked along offering your dangerous goods course lasting probably more like 8 hours, but suddenly there's a change and it needs to be just 5 hours. And that happened recently with COVID, where a lot of them had to change to delivering an online course for maybe 6 hours and then scheduling maybe 2 hours of face-to-face now that we're at level 1. So they could go in themselves and make changes so that course, the online course, was perhaps not showing in Wellington but was showing in as an online location, and reduce the time. They weren't dependent on us to do those kinds of things.
Awesome.
Another real advantage is in managing the bookings. So as much as we'd all like to believe that everybody will book online, not everybody will. And often a customer will have some very special larger customers who they really want to do extra for and will want to manage the bookings for them. So our customers have the ability to let their customers book online, but they can also add bookings themselves in the back end. So here's our booking screen, and to add a new booking, they simply go add new booking and it walks them through the process from there. We won't do it today, but the key thing you'd like to know is the starting point. If the person has booked with us before, they'll be in the drop down, so there's no repeating adding their details. We look for my colleague Jenna, and Jenna is there and we can proceed from here. If she wasn't there, we could just simply use that plus button to add her. Again, very quick and easy for people to add their own events and their own bookings into events, so that it's not completely dependent on everybody going and booking themselves. We all know we've all got some customers that just won't do that. I think there's a lot to it, but the final point I'd make is about the inbuilt marketing tools. So there are a lot of tools to help people promote their courses or events. I would think of it as a little like MailChimp, if you know that product, but very targeted toward events. It certainly doesn't have as much graphic capability, but it's very quick and easy to use. So if I have put up my courses and I now want to encourage my database along, I come to e-invites, I say create and send a new email. I might want to invite them to everything I've got going on in June, so I'm going to choose a series, I'm going to say next. I'm going to decide to send it to all contacts. I won't do that today in case everybody on my list gets the message. When I go to the next step here, it actually brings up, and there's one event happening in June, it brings up the list of June events, in this case only one. When I go next, it'll give me, so my customers, when I send this out, my client's customer is going to get an email with that heading, which is from their own brand. Whatever, you'll see there's a bit of junk in here, but whatever message they've put in here, and then a list of the courses or events and the times with a click to register. So that makes it really gives them a lot of marketing advantages and administration advantages.
And I've just noticed the reports tab at the top as well. I guess that offers quite a bit of transparency for meeting KPIs and reporting back and things like that.
It certainly does. And so all clients, I'm not sure if you're getting my little message popping up there, sorry. What it means is clients can report just about anything they might want to report. If I show you the occupancy report, that's a bit of a favourite with some clients. This one shows you, if I choose a date range, there we are, it shows you all the courses that you've run, the number of people that could have been on the course, the number actually booked, and then converts that to a percentage. So this one was 30% full, this one was 100% full. So big range. What a lot of people do is connect the system to their Xero or some versions of MYOB, and in those cases the finances all happen. So this creates an invoice and puts it in Xero. If the person pays on as they book through credit card, it will put the receipt into Xero as well. For those that have finance systems that aren't so easy to integrate, maybe an older not online system, they would use this financial report. They would export a list of all the invoices and upload that to their financial system.
Oh, cool. What an awesome system. Seems very easy to use as well.
Thanks, Laura. We think so. There's a lot of our users are also in the community sector where they're volunteers, perhaps not people who were brought up with technology, but we have some amazing people out there who are, let's say, super gold card holders who use this system to run events with no problems at all.
Oh, awesome. And have you had to make any changes to the system itself as a result of COVID and the sort of changes that have come around about that, like with regards to contact tracing and the like?
Yeah, well, that's a very good question. So it's always been a contact tracing system in a sense, because our customers get to ask their customers who's coming along. They can ask as many or as few details they want, so phone numbers, emails, those kind of things. What we found two key things during COVID. The first was that many of our customers started to run a lot more online courses. We're integrated with the Intuito online learning platform, so that those that use that platform, that was a really easy transition to make. Some used other online learning platforms, so we needed to make some changes to better cater for those. But perhaps the best one was the level of innovation amongst our customers, who very quickly realised that they could take the system and use it for things beyond training and events. So one of our customers used it to had us make some customisations to allow them to use the platform to book times for people to pick up items that were being delivered, so they could order them online and book their time using the Booking Rooster system and go and collect them. So it was really, really handy for that.
Well, that's very cool. And what are some of the feedback that you get from your customers? What do your customers typically say about you and Booking Rooster?
I think my favourite quote is from Vertical Horizons, who are of course a local company. I won't get his words exactly right, but Ben, who's the CEO there, they've had the system for a good many years. They said they realised the benefit almost instantly with reduced record keeping time, reduced booking effort. And he said honestly that it allowed them to manage their programs at a fraction of the cost.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's a good point actually, the onboarding being so quick too, with it being so user friendly, and yeah, as you say, you can use it pretty much instantaneously and you're good to go.
That's it. And we take anything that could be painful, we take out of it. So setting up your templates, there's a lot of power in here. So when we set up a course or an event template for someone, we ask them all the questions so that when it's set up, it's actually optimal for their needs. And so they don't have to sit there scratching their heads thinking, gee, how do I create a ticket that will give a person just a dinner and then a ticket that will do a conference and dinner together. We ask them about that and set them up templates so that they can, if they're doing a conference with a dinner, they're all ready to go. And it will control the numbers, so they can have 150 people at the conference and 200 at the dinner, and it will cut off 150 conference and 200 dinners, no matter whether they book one or other or both.
Awesome. Oh, cool. Well, was there anything else you wanted to add?
Look, I just love talking about our system, so I'd probably better stop there.
No, that's great. Thank you very much. That was very informative.